BTS is signed to one of the most successful music labels in South Korea. It looks as though Big Hit had an ace up their sleeve that surprised the competition. In January, the label announced the launch of a new boy band known as TXT. The acronym stands for Tomorrow by Together, and they are only the second boy band to be officially released from the label. Today, we're going to take a look at the top 10 times BTS paved the way for the new kids on the block. Stay tuned to hear what BTS thinks of the newly released chart toppers. The debut. With BTS being the first boy band to be launched from Big Hit Entertainment, the label was able to learn a lot through their past mistakes and accomplishments. Being number one is never easy, and fans are aware of how BTS's climb to the top was far from being an overnight success. Considering BTS has already faced public adversity on numerous occasions, this gives TXT confidence to know that they won't be rejected by fans over a mistake or misunderstanding. In fact, BTS has already shown demonstrations of support to the up-and-coming K-pop idols who they share the same music label with. Jimin from BTS posted a tweet congratulating TXT on their debut and promising to support them throughout their journey. TXT was humbled by the gesture, thanking BTS for cheering them on and vowing to do their best as they continue their music careers. The Grammys. BTS is the first K-pop band to ever be nominated for a Grammy. If that isn't a breakthrough, we don't know what is. TXT's debut album wasn't even released at the time of BTS's Grammy nomination. Receiving such a distinction opened massive doors for BTS's younger counterparts to follow in their footsteps. And TXT is proud to be a label mate of a band who has no trouble breaking barriers. BTS was also the first K-pop act to debut at number 1 on Billboard's Top 200 with the Love Yourself album, only to do it again just several months later. What's so impressive about this accomplishment is that it was the first album predominantly sung in another language to debut at number 1 in over a decade, with TXT's debut album, The Dream Chapter, Star, being released on March 4th, 2019. It's a bit early to tell where the band will land on Billboard's list. Although, from what fans are able to see so far, it looks like TXT is off to an impressive start. Suga and Beomgyu. Fans and the media are already tweeting about how TXT being compared to BTS will be unavoidable. Mostly, comparisons surround similarities in the band's music and choreography, although we discovered a few similarities that haven't been quite as noticeable. In particular, we'd like to point out that BTS's Suga and TXT's Beomgyu are both from Daegu. Not to mention, BTS's V was also born there. If fans know anything about astrology, we are in the season of Pisces, and it just so happens that Suga and Beomgyu share the same star sign. They also have similar styles, as both of them have been seen rocking bandanas. With smiles that steal hearts and eyes that make you melt, these certainly aren't the worst traits to have in common. However, this isn't where the commonalities between the two of them end. Suga and Beomgyu went to the same English school, but sadly they weren't there at the same time. Member count. Traditionally, boy bands don't usually have more than 6 members. Big Hit's Bangtan Boys colored outside of the lines by choosing to kick it up a notch or two, with 7 members in their band. This isn't something the pop genre is used to seeing, but once they got it, fans couldn't get enough. TXT currently has 5 members who go by the names of Soobin, Yeonjun, Beomgyu, Taehyun, and Hyunin Kai. According to sources, there may be more members added to the TXT group. Having more members in a band clearly leads to an immense amount of flexibility. With the youngest member of the TXT band being 16 upon the band's debut, there is plenty of room for growth. So who knows where they'll be 10 years from now. No matter how many members are in the band, it's clear they'll be rising to the top with no intent on stopping. Inspiration. The BTS army has a tremendous amount of love for the Bangtan Boys, and some of that love is credited to the band's commitment to inspire their fans. The K-pop idols are no strangers when it comes to speaking about socially hot topics in their music. Fans can tell that it's coming from a place of sincerity and not from a place of simply wanting to be seen trending on their fans' latest news feed. TXT took a page out of BTS's book when it comes to being motivationally positive in their artistic message. Positive slogans and affirmations such as "Love Yourself" struck a chord with fans all over the world. TXT is right behind them by promoting the concept of understanding and respecting each other's differences, but still sharing a sense of oneness while navigating the diversity that exists among us. Social media. BTS and TXT are experiencing global excitement, and it's sending shockwaves through the hearts of K-pop fanatics. Fans are crowding the social media platforms to learn more about the latest pop band. It only took 15 hours after Big Hit announced their most recent unveiling of boy band TXT for them to accumulate over 600,000 followers on Twitter. They didn't do too shabby on Instagram either, with a whopping 450,000 followers within that same time frame. It also didn't take long for the band's official site to crash after it went live. If this is an indication that TXT is on to something big, we're not sure what is. Being a predominant force on social media platforms proves to be a go-to avenue for any public figure these days. BTS knows this better than anyone due to the fact that BTS was crowned top social artist for 2 years in a row. BTS was so thrilled by this recognition that they all sent out special thank yous to their fans by posting selfies on Twitter. BTS knew exactly what to do to show fans appreciation for their support and relentless commitment to social media engagement. World Tour. BTS is slowly but surely becoming the strongest contender in the music industry when it comes to touring. BTS has been shutting down venues and arenas since 2014. The band began to appear on American stages only a year later and have been selling out tickets ever since. During their first stateside tour, Episode 2, The Red Bullet, BTS lit up New York City, Dallas, Chicago, and Los Angeles. And just like that, the band is back for yet another round. Billboard recently reported that the band added additional Love Yourself, Speak Yourself stadium shows in the US and in Europe. They did this because the initial dates were completely sold out. No one is expecting Big Hit's TXT to fill BTS's shoes, and who would want them to? This is definitely giving TXT something to strive toward, but not something that can be done without showing fans they've got what it takes to last. Although we have a sneaking suspicion that TXT won't have any problems rising to the occasion. Breaking records. BTS has the most #1 albums for a Korean artist on Billboard, and what artist wouldn't dream of holding such a title? Their TXT counterparts have been nicknamed the younger brothers of the BTS band, and they couldn't be prouder of that title. The pressure may be mounting, but it's the good kind, and fans are totally on board with it. Though the pressure goes both ways in this case, as BTS now has a band who looks up to them. And while this is flattering to say the least, BTS wants to remain original. However, it's likely that the one being looked up to will be emulated. This means BTS may have to be more aware of how they move forward in the future. BTS has had their fair share of encounters with scandals, so this may be something they're looking to leave behind as they continue to pave the way and become examples for TXT. BTS has been the first K-pop band to excel in a number of ways, including the first Korean group to reach #1 on US iTunes top singles chart. BTS hasn't only made waves in the United States, the UK has acquired a taste for the K-pop band as well because BTS has broken records there too. In fact, BTS was the first K-pop band to enter the official UK chart by being one of the pioneers in making K-pop mainstream in the US. TXT now has a responsibility to maintain a stellar reputation. Crown. But not so fast. BTS isn't the only one around here breaking records. Fans can now add TXT to the list because on March 5th, 2019, their song Crown broke the well-known record of having the most liked music video for a debut band within 24 hours. With TXT topping iTunes album charts in over 44 regions around the world, fans didn't waste any time viewing their content online, which sent the band's views soaring over 11 million and counting on YouTube. But here's the kicker. TXT reached 10 million in only 13 hours and currently has over 17 million views, but who's counting? With the fastest growing music video in K-pop history, it appears to be another case of their big hit label living up to their name. It's starting to look like BTS and TXT are gonna have quite a few similarities after all. Fans were quick to point out that their similarities go beyond their music, aesthetic, and sleek dance moves. iTunes. Do you remember when we talked about BTS paving the way and drawing in more traffic than ever on iTunes? Let's give a warm welcome to TXT as well, because the Dream Chapter Star is the first debut album by a K-pop boy group to ever reach #1 on US iTunes. Talk about flying high right out of the gate. And thanks to BTS setting the tone, TXT left none of their fans disappointed by holding true to their promise of giving it their absolute best shot. Which record do you think the bands will break next? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed exploring the biggest similarities between BTS and TXT. We can't wait to hear from you, but make sure to subscribe to The Taco so you can hear from us too. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.